Many secret orders have an outer head, a non-corporeal entity who is recognized as that order's true Grand Master, for whom the corporeal Grand Master is but a representative. It is similar to the concept of the patron deity. For us, we understand the Ordo Lapsat Exilus to be under the guidance of the spirit of Cain, the God King of the ancient world immortalized in legends as mankind's forgotten father. I am going to let you in on a little secret. The New Testament has a significant amount of truth in it, but the truth is wrapped in a lie. See, in order to understand why people follow the New Testament, it's because it has so much of the Old Testament writings they plagiarized it. See, the only way you can break the conditioned mind, you have to start with the very thing that has the mind in a state of condition. I'll give you one verse that Christ said. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it. Now we know that Lucifer the devil, Satan, has never killed anybody in the Bible. I have done lessons on this and prove it to be a fact. We will get to that in a minute. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar, and the father of it. Notice anything weird about what he said? He was a murderer from the beginning of what? Is he referring to creation? If so, he is a prevaricator. Nowhere in the Old Testament at any time the devil murdered anybody, nor does it say it in the New Testament. I know some of you Christians might try to refer to the book of Job, but I will explain to you that Satan did not murder no one in the book of Job. That was the Most High. Satan was just an instrument that the Most High used. Does it explicitly say that Satan carried out the killings? I noticed it says the fire of God fell from heaven. I'll explain to you this particular. First I will give you the story, and then I will give you the scriptures to back it up. Job's 20 children. Job's first 10 children mocked God by mixing his teachings with heathen religions in an attempt to justify the perverted lifestyle. The dark and evil traits were inherited from the wicked mother Dinah. Dinah was a resentful, embittered, ill-natured, sullen, irritable, unhappy old hag who lacked love and respect for Job, coupled with a profound hatred of God. Job's first son, Agner, manifested Satan's evil direction for godlessness by being sexually obscene, coarse and foul-mouthed, with egotistical conceit that attracted Job's other children into a life of physical sin. As the 10 children matured, they manifested the amoral standard of living to bond together against the Father and God. Job's second son Tumtiel, with his belligerent, overbearing, warlike and obnoxious spirit, made himself hateful and annoying to his siblings. Job's third son Gotas was a cheat, conniver, sneaky, deceitful, and lived only to satisfy his material and sexual desires. Job's fourth son Hamel was a sarcastic, cynical, sneering, mocking, rude and scornful man. His personality made even his brothers and sisters depressed, which helped to turn them into alcoholics. Job's fifth son Kergma was gloomy, melancholy, unhappy and touchy, and kept emotionally detached from his siblings. Job's sixth son Ophlf was an overeducated, condescending, smug, and arrogant man who harbored a private and secretive life of darkness. Job's seventh son Dister was mercurial, ill-tempered and surly, with a propensity to attack others verbally and physically for any slight provocation he felt was against him. Job's first of 6 daughters was Lubal, a touchy, cantankerous, thin-skinned, profane, godless who early in life became sexually active with her brothers. Job's second daughter Ninsun was distant, indifferent and also carnally intimate with her brothers at a young age, but in denial about negative aspect of her sexual proclivities. Job's third daughter Sidra, though sexually promiscuous, was unhappy, whiny and complained constantly of being picked by everyone. This innate female drive for sexual sin to lead men astray from God has not abated for thousands of years. Even among today's females, the same physical and spiritual impurities are revealed. Deut 27:16 God's fifth commandment says, "Children, you must give unqualified, unearned love and respect to your parents, even if they seem old-fashioned, bad-tempered, cantankerous, stubborn and at times dishonorable. Their children are to show them undying love. Pro 4, 1, Col 320, Lev 19, 3, 32. The child's duty to the parents is first to honor, care for and reverence them. Job's children refused this admonition from God and died young and sent to hell fire forever. Agner, Job's eldest son, had but one goal in life, to satisfy the lust of his flesh coupled with a big dose of hatred for his parents. Job refused to attend their eldest son's drunken, incestuous, pseudo-religious gatherings because that would have validated the children's evil life choices. Satan convinced Agner that he was more qualified to mentally and physically direct his brothers and sisters through life than his father Job. As you can see, history proved he was not. When listening to Satan, Agner forgot that Job was the richest man on earth and did very well in the wisdom and war. LDLY knowledge department without any help from his son. Job 1:1-2. The Lord said to Satan, Behold, all that he Job hath is in your power, only upon himself body put not forth your hand. This prohibition by God was later lifted and Satan was allowed to attack Job physically for several months. Job's testing was to show the devil his faithfulness to God, even though it meant the death of his 10 evil children, servants and animals. Job 1:12. Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Job 1:13. And there was a day when Job's sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. When God says woe, he is expressing grief about Agner's lack of shame, parental love and obedience to God. Job 1:13. Then there was a day. Your day is coming, neighbor. Job 1:14. When there came a messenger number 1 to Job and said, The oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them. Job 1:15. And the Sabines, blacks of southern Africa, fell upon them and took them away. Yes, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell you. Job 1:16. While he was yet speaking, another messenger came, number 2, and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and has burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and I only am escaped to tell you. Job 1:17. While he was yet speaking there another messenger came, number 3, and said, The Chaldeans, Arabs made of 3 bands, fell upon the camels and have carried them away and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell you. Job 1:18. While he was yet speaking there another messenger came, number 4, and said, Your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. Job 1:19. And there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are all dead, and I only am escaped to tell you. Though they were all killed, the detail of Job's 3 wicked daughters is not included in this report. God did not want a remembrance of their impure lives to bring more hurt and shame to Job. No doubt incestuous bastard children were born as a result of the brothers and sisters' drunken sex orgies, and even through this shame Job remained true to God. Job 1:20. When Job heard this, he arose and tore his coat and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped God. Job 1:21. And said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there in death. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Job 1:22. In all this Job sinned not nor charged God foolishly. Throughout his painful trials Job never doubted God's existence, or cursed him for personal losses, but in all his misfortune glorified the Lord. Job did not do as many fools attempt to disprove God's existence and his sovereign rule over man. Job 42:12-15. You may think this information and evaluation of Job's 10 drunken children and evil wife as harsh, but it is recorded that God is love and will damn some holy children only when they live for evil. Job 2:9. During the few miserable months of her husband's physical, mental and spiritual test, his indolent wife Dinah demonstrated her lack of love for Job and faith in God when telling Job to curse God and die. After his test, Job showed boundless love by having sex with his wrinkled evil wife. God used this as revenge by making her in old age to have 10 more painful childbirths, but this time to birth 10 new and wonderful children. Job 42:12-13. Job's 10 new and faithful children loved him unconditionally. Job 42:14. Job's 3 new daughters are 1. Jemimah, 2. Keziah, 3. Keren Happuch. These were beautiful holy virgins that brought great honor and glory to Job and were known throughout all the land as the purest virgins of Airtime. We can deduce by this short record of Job's 3 new daughters that the first 3 evil daughters lived a drunken and incestuous life with the 7 nefarious brothers. Job's 10 new children manifested all of the father's godly traits. They were careful, loyal, humble, candid, inquisitive, steady, positive, spontaneous, goal-directed, thoughtful, tolerant, God-loving, self-sacrificing and focused on good. They all in one accord receive spiritual knowledge from Job as he received spiritual direction from God. And there you have it. The devil never killed anyone in the Bible. Why would the Creator give a created being like the so-called Satan or Lucifer that type of power one of his heavenly children? It wouldn't make any sense. Because the only one that can destroy life is the one that can create it, and you would have known this if you would have fully read the Bible. You would have stumbled on this particular verse. Isaiah 45:7. I form the light, and create darkness, I make peace, and create evil, I the Lord do all these things. And I know where some of you Christians are getting the idea, thinking that the devil had the keys to hell. No, that particular scripture is not saying that at all. Revelation 1:18 and the ever-living one, living in and beyond all time and space. I died, but see, I am alive forevermore, and I have the keys of absolute control and victory over death and of Hades, the realm of the dead. Jesus went into hell and took the keys from Satan to death, hell and the grave. Rev 1:18 and EPH 4:9 are the only scriptures I have found. Is there an actual scripture saying this? Bible answer: nowhere in the Bible does it say that Jesus went to hell to retrieve the keys to death or hell or the grave. Nowhere, not even in Revelation 1:18 where the word keys is used, the keys of death and of Hades, does it say that Christ went to hell, or that he took back keys, or that Satan at any time had custody of any keys. In the entire King James Version of the Bible, the word key appears in 6 verses. The word keys appears in 2 verses. Thus, key and keys appear a total of 8 times in the KJV. Then again, the way Satan is perceived differs widely over the Abrahamic spectrum. In Judaism, Ha-Satan, which means the Satan, is an angel subservient to God, as demonstrated in the book of Job, and according to folklore this Ha-Satan may be the angel Samael, whose name means venom of God, who acted as God's prosecution lawyer, testing humanity's fidelity to God and then punishing them on high.